Okay, everyone, we're going to get started. I'd like to thank you all for coming out to the Greater Community Roundtable meeting. My name is Kenny Doss. I am on the Economic Development team here at the Greater Auburn Gresham Development Corporation. If you all haven't know, I see a new bunch of new faces today. So what we like to do is usually um, stand up, introduce yourself if this is your first time in the room so that we can know who's in the room and how we can network, how we can do business amongst each other and continue to thrive and use our resources together. So if this is your first time at our Auburn Gresham community meeting, please feel free. Like I said, we're going to do a speed dating style, who you are, where your business is located, what you do. If you don't have a business and you're a community member, that's great also. You can say what block you on. If you don't feel comfortable, just say how many years you live in the community.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, this crowd look good. My name is Thaisa Watson. I'm a high school cluster teacher at Dunbar Vocational Career Academy, where I have a closet. It's called Chloe's Closet, which is my daughter who passed away some years ago. And this closet houses items for students who simply don't have. They don't have to be homeless. It is none of your business why. If they need a pair of jeans, I have day-to-day clothing. I also have a non-perishable cabinet where they can go in and we do pack a sack and they get foods for the week and they get it for themselves, their family, their siblings. I also do a dress drive. This is my third dress drive. I did it last Saturday and I will host one this Saturday, and it's open not only to Dunbar students but to the community, to anyone in need. I also like to give to shelters and um, families, anybody, anywhere, because I get a lot of donations. Just on yesterday, I was on channels 5, 7, and 9, WBZ, Chicago Tribune. So I'm just trying to make a difference because I was that little girl. I grew up in the Hero Icky Projects on 24th and State, and I don't give nothing for what I went through to get to where I am today except gratitude. So that's my network pitch, and I'm here, and I'm going to hand it over to my beautiful daughter.
She forgot to mention Jennifer Hudson flew her last week to LA and shot that, so y'all can be looking out for that episode as well. Um, so hi guys, my name is Diamond. I own and operate along with my mother the Village Youth Center, which is on 79th and Western. We're new to the community. I did in-home for a decade and Roseland, so they know me. This neighborhood doesn't. So it's time for me to reintroduce myself to everybody. And our thing is we're really big on mental health and entrepreneurship. So my mother also did not mention that she did 7 years, 6 years in Dubai. She taught kindergarten and first graders. So her desire is to teach them how to be more cultural for our summer program that we're running this summer. My desire is to teach them how to be entrepreneurs and to learn life skills, become more self-sustainable, self-sufficient, so that it in turn it circumvents a lot of trauma that children have when they don't have direction or they don't know what to do. So I come from experience. COVID almost wiped me, took me clean out. I didn't even think that my brain, my thoughts could go to the depths of the darkness like that. And it was something that I had to learn that Eastern medicine, Chinese medicine, breath work, meditation, yoga, all the free stuff, and eating right to put my body back into a chemical balance that was alkaline. That was what that's all. That on top of love is what saved my life. So I kind of just my desire. I was in concrete. We did ballets. We did the casinos. I was a PM for concrete. And one day God just said, "This is not why I put you here." And I was going to give them 2 weeks, but I went in and quit that day. So yeah, the Village Youth Center. We're focused on mental health, entrepreneurship. Yeah, and summer camp is coming right up. So we do for free transportation from the schools to the center. And when it comes to parents for the summer, it's just kind of a first come, first serve for transportation. So, yeah.
Oh, right too. Okay. Hi. How y'all doing today? I am Chef Pie Guy, owner and operator of Pie Guys Bakery and Cafe. Used to be located on 79th and Champlain. Pie Guys is an original concept. Chicago gave me that name. I didn't. At the end of the day, I'm doing a rebranding. I actually live down the street now after my divorce of 2 weeks ago. Thank you. I need that. If the heart hurts a little bit, at the end of the day, y'all, I'm all about seed to table and community. I'd broken my leg a year and a half ago. I was partners with Quentin Love from Soul Food Lounge. I was a chef there as well. So I am back and on my feet. I ain't told nobody but y'all. Okay? So you can find my cakes over on 87th with Percy's Harold's. I am in a few Harold's, and I'm looking to expand my brand and make some new connections because I'm a free man. Hi, y'all.
Hello, hello. Good evening. My name is Cliff Stokes. I am the founder and vice president of a company called CELO. We convert cars to electric with a high focus of economic development. So we train the people of the community how to convert buses. We like to make partnerships with local city vehicles, and we convert those over to electric. Thank you.
No, Latoya. Hey everyone, I'm Latoya. I'm the owner of Iconic K Beauty. I also have a Sweetener Island Tax Service, but I'm just now bringing Iconic Scholars on 76 and Halsted. It's before and after care. Also, for summer, we'll have summer camp also. So, welcome.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm with B&B Ice Cream and Candy. I'm here with my mom. Oh, you guys know us. So we have two locations, one on 95th and Troop, and another one on 82nd and Racine. Yeah, I guess that's it, right?
Lauren just passed the bar too, y'all. So,
Hello, everyone. I'm Pedro Fortuno from Deluxe Floors and Boutique. I'm located at 919 and 921 West 87th Street. You all probably go to Harold's next door to me. Those are my storefronts. And Brown's Barbecue. And I do everything in the floral business from birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, whatever you may need. I can take care of it. And I have a men's and women's boutique next door. It's a pleasure.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Jay Jones. By profession, I'm an emotional translator. If you haven't heard of that, I made it up. So literally, I'm the first. Literally, y'all laughing, but I'm serious. I got fired so much, I made my own profession. So I'm literally the very first emotional translator to my opinion. As an emotional translator, I use how you feel to help you heal. That's my main profession. I'm a father as well. So aside from that, I'm an author. So I write about emotional wellness. This is my first of 9 books that I have out that talks about how I turn my anger into fuel. Me being a black man from Chicago, a divorced father of 2, a victim of domestic abuse for 3 years. I've been locked up 6 times, and I've been an officer. So I've seen the inside of a jail more than most. I used to be this guy, but now I'm this guy, right? And how I help heal myself is through emotional translation. It's a 5-step process that I created: observation, listening, accountability-based questions, it's a little chocolate chip right above accountability. Solutions and acceptance. So this is definitely how I help myself heal and others. And this is like my some of my catalog that I got here. So I'm looking to network. I'm looking to actually I'm working with Alderman Hall at the moment to start something called Block by Block Leadership and Literacy Initiative, as to where we're going to be cleaning a block per week and then meeting with the young men and then reading some books. So I've been living here about a month, so I'm looking to network with whoever's open to network. Thank you.
Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? Awesome. My name is Devon Jones. I'm the owner of Zicomo's Barber and Beauty Salon. Also, Zicomo's suites, and event space. Also, Most Community Outreach. I had a store located on 85th and Ashland for 14 years. Currently, looking back to come back to the community with Priscilla, the help of Kai and Priscilla. We're looking to do more big things inside of Auburn Gresham. How you doing, Priscilla? And awesome. And not only do I have a bar and beauty salon, we have event space, we have salon suites, and we also have a community organization where we are cultivating young, inspired teenagers from 13 to 24 how to become cosmetologists, and fashionistas. So we had a 3-week program. I'm state funded, thank God. So I received a $750,000 grant. So if anyone has children for free, 13 to 22, they come and they get experience from real high-tech professional instructors, and we'll have Priscilla and Mr. Kahan to share the information. Looking to network with everyone. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mary Younger. I am the owner of Aquari Fit Fitness Studio located in 400 West 76th Street, the Stewart Business Center. I just acquired the space more recently, and I'm in the process of rebranding. I specialize in functional fitness and seniors, but we work with everybody, group fitness classes, personal training, as well as fitness parties. See me for information. I got a whole class schedule for you.
How y'all doing today? My name is Cordero Jackson. I am from the 17th Ward, Alderman Moore's office. I am his chief of staff. And yes.
Good evening. I'm Officer Gaines. I'm the Business and Alderman Liaison for the 6th District. I host a business subcommittee meeting the second Tuesday of every month, which everyone from GAGDC are a part of, and I'm hoping to get more people to join. It's a community effort. Just when you reach out with each other, we can all stay connected and get in front of the concerns instead of coming to us when there is a concern. It's building bridges and partnerships. Officer Gaines. I'm in the 6th District, and I'll give my number, or they'll give you my number, but I hope you all can join one of our subcommittee meetings.
Yes, those meetings are great, and we need those meetings to look like this, right? We don't want to just call CPD when there's a break-in or if someone is stealing. We want to have that connection so that, it's building a personal relationship. A lot of times we voice our opinions when things go wrong, but like Officer Gaines said, let's get in front of the violence or whatever it is that's going on in the community.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Latasha Banks. I'm an outreach specialist for Chicago Transit Authority, Small Business Outreach Development Department.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chanel Harmon, and I'm the manager for Small Business Development and Outreach for Chicago Transit Authority.
Oops. Oh, sorry. Hi, everybody. I'm Franzi Bodo from Bodo Griffin Design Center. We have a showroom and an art gallery. My husband, art gallery, Gerald Griffin Gallery. So we do construction work as well. And the showroom is for any construction materials that you may need for commercial and residential. Sorry to cut everybody. I have to go to another meeting. I just wanted to introduce myself.
And I'm Gerald Griffin, artist, co-owner of the Bordeaux Griffin Design Center. My wife kind of truncated our description, but it is a interior design, luxury interior design showroom, event space, art gallery, art instruction school. And you're all welcome to come by and give us a visit. We're at 83rd and Princeton Avenue, right next to Bank of America. Yes. So hopefully in mid-October, you all can take a quick visit to 79th and King Drive, and you'll be able to see sculpture, a monumental project I'm working on, a 15-foot sculpture of Mahalia Jackson. And it's going to be at that. We're making a special Mahalia Plaza square for that location. And yeah, So I hope you guys are there for the unveiling. Thank you. Yes.
So I'm sorry. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna have housekeeping rules only, so everyone online could hear you. So if you do have a question, please raise your hand so that you can speak in the mic. I'm sorry.
No, we had a field trip. I'm do dabble with real estate too, and we had a field trip there. I've never in my life experienced, it was the most incredible experience, y'all, to go to their showroom. I have never in my life, and then your artwork and that glass floor that you built with the rocks in it, I'd never seen a black artist create things like that. And it is the most incredible experience. So honestly, anybody who could go to know that you right across from Lowe's and Walmart, like, and it's this special black building that you don't know what it is. I've been telling my mom I needed to bring her to y'all as she was doing her rehab. So yeah. Yes.
And I would like to add too. I myself didn't know how wonderful that space was. I actually got married in their space too. So when I So when we talk about spending money and supporting one another, that's what it looks like. I know when I sent out that location, a lot of people was like, 83rd and Princeton, what's over there? But when they came in, they were blown away. And I'm pretty sure you all have the same response as well.
Hi, hi everyone. My name is Kel Hadfield. I'm that's a hard act to follow up, but I work for Summer Corps. We're a 501c3 nonprofit that works with the city of Chicago, and I am here representing their Neighborhood Opportunity Fund grant. So I'll be talking to you all a little bit later on. It's Summer Corps. It'll be spelled up there, and I got my business cards on the table back here. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Franchon Gaston. I'm into property management and I help assist with multiple management companies throughout the city of Chicago, helping homeless, veterans, and disability for housing. Also, I have my own Black-owned wine business in which I do private events around the city as well, for hosting weddings, bridal showers, any city corporate events. So I am available. So I'm here to network amongst everyone.
Anyone on that back row?
You want me to go first and then you go? You sure?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tierney Pilcher. This is my second roundtable, and I think this is a lot compared to the last one I was at. So I have two businesses in Auburn Gresham. My gallery isn't as exquisite, but I do own an art gallery. I am your old neighbor. I am at 8509 South Ashland. I bought the building and it is an art gallery. But I have a tech consulting firm. So I build websites. Hint, hint. I build her website. Build websites. I'm actually taking signups if you like doing a Canva for beginners class. If you want to learn more about Canva, how to build your own flyers instead of using AI, I will help you how to do that. And again, social media, getting yourself out there. We do classes at the art gallery, sugar scrub classes, mental health, wellness. We do a lot of things in the community. So if you don't want to go hang out at the bar, you can come and paint with me at Studio 15. So I have business cards for both. And if you were looking to any tech services or just scared of technology completely altogether, need to set your systems and processes up, that's what I do. I've been in tech for 20 years. So I'd be more than happy to assist. 8509 South Ashland. May 30th will make a year that I closed on the building. Okay, now you gotta go.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marcella. This is Sandra, and that's Sharon. We're all retired. Ain't doing no more businesses. But anyway, we're from the community, the 8200 block of South Carpenter, and this is our block club, and we came here to be nosy tonight.
Thank you for coming.
Hello, my name is Larry Shannon. I've been a resident of Inglewood for most of my life. Me and my brothers, we had a band back in the day, and we would be called by the police department to perform at Kennedy King College. And you know what? I like to thank Cordero, thank you. And my brother would call my brother to do the back to school parade and call the band. But this brother right here, my brother passed away. I went to the office of the alderman. This guy made sure that they had a letter and my brother's funeral hand delivered. I want to thank you. He delivered there. But I'm an artist, and I'm in the process of finishing this documentary that I have on Herb Kent. So, and I'm a CAD TV producer. So, if you guys need something, you're at home. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carol Starks, and I just opened, well, last year I opened up an ice cream business. So I make homemade ice cream, Italian ice, pastries, sandwiches, wraps, and paninis. That's my son over there, Paris. He is going to be
What's
my
up,
manager
Paris?
for me. So I didn't, actually, I also have another business. So I do daycare in the home. I've been doing that 26 years in the home. So now I'm trying to venture out to my second baby, and that's gonna be my retirement. So that's the plan. I actually brought some ice cream, Italian ice. I did not know it was gonna be this many people here, and I don't think I have enough. So I really would like for you to taste it. I'm a newbie, so I got some flyers. So don't talk about my flyers when you see them. But please taste it. Anybody else?
Hi, my name is Katanya Stone Wooten. I'm a resident of Auburn Gresham. Been living in this community for 35 years. I live on Peoria, and I've been to several of the roundtable meetings. And I don't know if they're missing the emails to me, sending me the emails with all of you all addresses, because I've been living over here for 35 years, and I've been a member of Auburn Gresham, this community this organization, and I didn't know anything about you all. If we can have a listing printed of you all so we can give it to the people on our block that you all exist. That's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah, once we get through the.
Hello, my name is Raphael Taylor. Hello, my name is Raphael Taylor. I'm the owner and founder of The Flower. We are catering and social. We're located at 8232 Southwestern. I bought that building. And I'm going to partner with the GAGDC. We're going to do a ghost kitchen, and we're going to put together a non-for-profit for culinary art training for the kids. And I also own a daycare over in the 10th Ward on 105th and Torrance. We have a before and after care. We also are doing free transportation for the kids. We have a summer camp, and I think that's it.
Would you all like to go? Would you all like to go?
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrea. I'm a community member.
All right, Andrea.
Hello, everyone. I'm Angel Rodriguez. You can call me AJ. I'm a public affairs specialist for the Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience. And we're here in Cook County and several other counties helping homeowners, renters, businesses of all sizes, and private nonprofits. We are here because of the events, the storm that occurred in August. There was a declaration that was recently approved, and I am here deployed, and I'm conducting outreach efforts, and I engage with the communities, I engage with elected officials, I elect with nonprofits, and we look for ways to collaborate in order to spread the word. I have some flyers that are very valuable because the information is very helpful. Not everybody knows that SBA. Everybody sees this logo and they think, wow, businesses only. But in times of disaster, the wing that I work with SBA helps homeowners and renters after they've been affected by any type of disaster. So I am here. Thank you. I want to thank for this opportunity, and any questions, I am here to help. Okay.
All right, so we invited him out tonight to speak to the community and the business owners tonight because for the next 2 weeks, he will be down at the Alderman's office at 1344 West 79th Street. It'll be open for walk-ins, community residents, businesses alike to be able to come in, and they will be able to apply for grants, loans, and anything like that. In regards to the floods that happened last year, a lot of people was affected by it, and so we was waiting to try to get certain approvals and things like that done. So I know they have the loan option available. They haven't told us if it was a grant that's out there 100% that's going to cover a lot of those damages that did happen to people's basements in their homes. But they will be there for 2 weeks straight, starting next week, Monday through Friday.
You can talk in the mic.
We help in the way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Probando. Ahí. So we help in the way of low interest disaster loans that are up to 30 years and as low as 3%. So our recovery programs are low interest disaster loans, and not only for businesses, but also for homeowners. If you were affected and back then you had to use from your savings, from your money to replace and fix, to get back on secure, you can always apply, and all the receipts that you had for that replacement, you can always present them through the application process. We have those locations, they're called deluxe, where you're more than welcome to walk in, and we have a team of CSR specialists that will be ready to assist you, and in both language, and yeah, any questions? Again, I'm here.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Auburn Gresham Healthy Lifestyle Hub. I am Carlos Nelson, CEO of Greater Auburn Gresham Development Corporation. And just because Auburn Gresham is in our name doesn't mean we only serve the Auburn Gresham community. And so we've dropped it. You can see we've dropped the name Auburn Gresham from the Roundtable because this is really about our extended community. Regardless of whether you live in Ashburn, Wrightwood, Auburn Gresham, Washington Heights, Inglewood, Chatham, West Chatham, you name it, we are welcoming all of the business owners, all of the residents to come and connect with other folks so that we can make certain that we do business with each other. So this is the Auburn Gresham Healthy Lifestyle Hub. For those old enough, this used to be the old public aid building. Anybody old enough to remember that? Dang, they have these retirees over here. But anyway, welcome one more time.
Thank you. I myself, I feel like that's my favorite part of the meeting, when everyone get the chance to network and know who's in the room. I seen some people make some faces like, man, I could use that contact. I seen a few people sharing numbers and emails. So that's the core part of this meeting. So next, we wanted to in these meetings always spotlight a business, right? We know that it's hard to be an entrepreneur, especially in these times. It's hard, it's rough, but we want to make sure that we're doing a job as an organization to drive business, to make sure that they're seen, to make sure that not only they're in the community, but thriving in the community as well. So our next business owner that I want to share the business spotlight with is Miss Tanara Burns.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tanara B. I am the owner of Five Crowns Glueless Custom Wigs and Suites. I am located at 8555 South Ashland. I have been in business for 5 years, 3 years at my location. Um, just to give you guys a little bit about me, we can go to the next slide. Just to give you guys a little bit about me, I am a licensed cosmetologist. I have been for 17 years. I decided that I wanted to get out of doing hair, so I end up taking a class on how to make glueless wigs on a sewing machine. Took the class. I thought it was going to be hard, but to my surprise, it did very well, considering the fact that I've never touched a sewing machine a day in my life. However, I end up doing very, very well. End up posting my wigs on social media, end up selling really, really good to the point that I decided that I wanted to become an actual business. When I did that, of course, we can slide to the next one. When I did that, I ended up having to give my EIN number, my business name. A lot of people ask me, what does my business stand for? Five Crowns. So, Five Crowns, as y'all can see, that's what it means. Those are the crowns that you can receive in heaven. I cannot crown you in heaven, only God can do that. However, God blessed my hands to crown you ladies on earth. So when it comes to women and they losing their hair, whether it be from alopecia or cancer or what it's stress, whatever it may be, I want to be able to give you ladies back your identity, give you back your self-confidence, just give it back to you. And me giving blessing the ladies with wigs, I give them back who they are. I give them back their identity. So that is what I came up with for my name. Once I decided to get the name going, now I have this business flourishing. In this process, I do have a full-time career, which is I worked at Ford Motor Company for 10 years. By the business flourishing, I end up getting a lot of customers. So a lot of people was coming to my house to pick their wigs up. I decided that I needed a location. I ended up finding a realtor, couldn't get a location at all. It was crazy. My friend ended up reaching out to me, basically telling me her uncle bought a building and it has 2 storefronts. Went to see the building, liked it, but I was waiting on him to do the gut. Thought he was gonna reach out to me. A year went past, haven't heard from him, so I just assumed it wasn't in God's plan for me to get this building. I end up deciding though that I wanted to walk away from Ford. God told me to move, and I stepped out on faith and I moved. He told me he couldn't do anything until I moved. Once I left Ford, literally the next week, the man called me and said, "I'm ready for you." So that was me leaving Ford. The next thing was I end up going in for my build out. I did not understand the concept of doing a bend out. All I knew is that I wanted it to be gorgeous. That was the whole thing, right? So I didn't understand the problems that come with that. However, in that process, God was creating in me character. He was creating in me how to run this business. He was created in me in different aspects on how this goes. So even though I had to go contractor after contractor, and people was leaving on me, what could have went for a 3-month to 4-month thing, it almost took a year for me to finally open up because of all the struggles that I went through. And sometimes, just giving somebody encouragement, sometimes something may take longer than what you expect. And it's okay to go the longer route because in that process, you are building and learning from that. So the next time you open up something, you'll know what to do, you know? So I end up opening up, going through that process, and at that point, I finally got my store together. It ended up being very beautiful, as y'all can see. I got everything that I wanted done to it. Did it exactly how I needed it to be done. I did everything myself, from the chandelier all the way down to the floors to the suites. I did it all. I'm so proud of myself. If I don't toot nobody on, I'm gonna do it. I wish that I would have known these guys a long time ago. They could have paid for it now, but it's okay.
That's true. That's true.
no. It's okay. I had to go through that process. So I do not regret anything that I went through. I needed that. And so I learned a lot from it. As far as my wigs go, I just want to give y'all a little bit on that. I make custom glueless wigs. So when I say that, I mean that. No glue. I literally, you don't have to use no tape, no spray. I know a lot of people say that they do custom wigs and then it be too big or it be too small, it don't fit them. You set up a consultation with me, you come in, I measure your head. So when the next time you come back, I make your wig on the sewing machine. It lasts you years. The only thing we may have to change out is your closure, but your wig is pretty pricey. I'm gonna let y'all know that. However, it's worth it. It's an investment, especially when you are going through the process where you might have alopecia or you're losing your hair from stress or anything. Like this is something good. You could be able to get to your scalp. You could be able to take it off every night, put it on. It still look good. It look natural. I got on one right now. My girl got on one right now too. So it looks good. It looks natural. It fits you properly. So I specialize in making sure that you ladies look beautiful inside and outside. A lot of people tell me that I'm very personable. So when you become a client of mine, you become a friend. So also, we can go to the next slide. I do have suites. I only have one available. So if you guys know anyone, it's a shareable suite where they will be sharing it with someone. The suite is $140 a week, which isn't bad, but you can share that with somebody as well. Now, going through that process of me opening up my salon, I never had a grand opening, okay? Because when I went through that whole project, I just wanted everybody to come in and pay me my money because I was running out of money. I needed all my money. So I never got the chance to actually take it all in, to actually for everybody to see my work. And so July 11th, I will be having a grand opening, which I use them for something. They're going to help me with that. So I will be having a grand opening. I will be having my 5-year anniversary in July. 5 years is so big because a lot of business only lasts one. So for me to go 5 years in, the fact that I stepped out on faith and made this my full-time career, God is amazing. And so it's also my 40th birthday. So I'm putting all of it together, and I would love for all of you guys to come celebrate with me. It will be food, drinks. I'm doing 45% off all wigs that day. Yeah, so you guys are more than welcome. I mean, if there's any questions that y'all have, y'all can let me know. Okay?
Any questions? If you have any questions, please raise your hand. I'll come around with the mic. Any questions? Nobody got no questions about the process. So I want to let you all know that with this, the business spotlight, sometimes you have to see what that business owner went through. So as you can see, her store is beautiful. She's thriving, but what was her process like? What did she have to go through to get to where she's at now? So I know somebody got some questions.
I like to say an early happy birthday. That's my summer birthday, July 11th.
Yes.
I wanted to know, do you do customized wigs for cancer patients as well?
I do, yes.
Okay, that was my question.
Did you have to get a zoning variance to do that? Because it's more than just you came there and sand down the walls, you know.
You talking about with the suites get
Yeah,
built up?
when you
Yeah,
first
I had to
started.
get all the paperwork and everything done for me to get the suites and stuff put in there. Yeah, they had to come out and look at everything.
Yeah, yeah. Because people don't really know that it's really a process.
Yes, it's the process, especially because it's a store in the front and it's salon suites in the back. So I had to get all that. They had to come out and approve it.
Yeah.
First, let me say congratulations, and your space is beautiful.
Thank you.
So, you mentioned, I may get in trouble for this question.
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
They helped you with your 5-year anniversary. We got a 10-year anniversary coming up. And so I'm just wondering what we need to do. What did you do?
I told them I wanted a grand opening.
That was it?
Yeah, because I never had one.
You want a grand opening, a grand reopening.
I got you.
Well, let's give it up again for Miss Tanara. So next on our agenda, we have Miss Latasha Banks from Chicago Transit Authority, CTA for short. And Miss Chanel, I apologize. I'll get you another mic. And if you all online have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I'll try to read them. And if we still have time at the end, I'll be sure to get to you all. If this is your first community roundtable meeting, let you introduce yourself. But if we don't, please excuse me. I apologize. Please try to make it to the next one in person.
Hello again, everyone. My name is Chanel Harmon, and I'm the manager for Small Business Development and Outreach for Chicago Transit Authority. Okay, so they didn't put in my agenda up there. So in the next couple of slides, I'm going to give you an overview of our DBE program and SBE program. Then I'm going to review a couple of solicitations that you may see as you're looking to bid on different opportunities with the Chicago Transit Authority. And then we'll I'll go in and talk about some of our program that we offer our small businesses, and then we'll save questions till the end. So first, by law, CTA has created a disadvantaged business program, and this is governed by the U.S. Department of Transportation, Part 49 CFR Part 26. So the goal of the program is to create fair opportunities for disadvantaged businesses. It also encourages the use of DBE firms across all federally funded projects and procurement activities. Finally, the program helps these small businesses grow outside of just bidding on within the restraints of the DBE program. Also, please note the DBE is an independent for-profit small business owned and controlled by a socially and economically disadvantaged individual. So with the DBE certification, there are a few requirements that I'll review on this slide. So first, to qualify, the business must be at least 51% owned by a socially and economically disadvantaged individual. The owners also have to actively control the company's management and day-to-day operations. There's also a financial eligibility limit. Each owner's personal net worth must be under $2 million. The business itself also has revenue limits. Over the past 3 years, the average annual gross receipts must be under $31.8 million. So I'm not sure if all of you in here have been following what was going on with the IFR and the dismantling of the DBE program. Across the state, a lot of firms or a lot of transit agencies went in various directions, with some just tossing the DBE program. But luckily, CTA, we stayed the course, and I want to say Thursday we got the green light to go ahead and to continue our DBE program. But also, it's not mentioned on this slide, but we've also had a small business enterprise program. The SBE program has been around just as long as the DBE program. So with the small business enterprise program, we set aside contracts valued at $5 million specifically for small businesses to bid on. The old way, before we had to make changes due to the IFR, if you were a DBE, you were automatically grandfathered into the SBE program.
Now, as I'll review in just a moment, there's a personal narrative requirement as it concerns becoming DBE certified. So it's once you become DBE certified, and in order for you to recertify, you had to submit. Can you go back to the next slide for me? Go back. Yeah, there you go. Thanks. Yeah, so with the old way, you would be grandfathered into the SBE program, but now you have to recertify by submitting a personal narrative, and it can't have anything to do with with your race. Where am I? Okay, so the requirements for the personal narrative, it must be provided for all owners who are socially and economically disadvantaged. Each personal narrative must specify the ownership percentage for the owner. Next, the specific form or formatting rules required for the regulation. Follow instructions set forth by your certifying agency. So we are a part of the Illinois UCP. So that means whether you get your certifications through CTA, PACE, Metro, City of Chicago, or the Illinois Department of Transportation, we all accept each other's certifications. But due to the whole new IFR process, when it comes to recertifying, you can't go to, if you started your certification with CTA, you had to recertify with CTA. You started your certification process with PACE, you had to go back to certify with PACE. Next, it also must include sufficient detail to demonstrate that it is more likely than not that your experiences have caused you to be socially and economically disadvantaged and have held you back from succeeding. Next, the personal narrative must include your signature. Firms that do not submit both a personal narrative and a personal net worth statement will not be eligible for the DBE program. For more details on how to submit the required documents, contact your host agency. And that goes back to whoever you started with, who you have to finish, whether it's CTA, PACE, the City of Chicago, or the Illinois Department of Transportation. You have to go back to your certifying agency. And so, as I previously mentioned, these are the certifications that we accept. So from CTA, the DB and the SBE, PACE, the DB and the SBE, Metro, and then with the City of Chicago and IDOT, for now, it's just the DBE. So as it concerns our diversity programs that we have set aside for our small businesses to support them throughout their procurement process, we have what we call our BSB program, known as our Building Small Businesses program. And so this program offers cash flow resources and back office support. To date, this program has also taken on the role of holding those first-timers' hand as they go through the bidding process. If you're new to government contracting, it can be overwhelming. Luckily, we have programs like BSB that can walk you through this process. We've actually had a few success stories from individuals who have gone through this program. They've already been awarded projects on the Red Line extension, and so we're hoping to create more of those. Can we go back? No, the previous slide. There we go. And today, here's a few stats. So today, 21.2 million in financing approvals have occurred for individuals that have gone through the program. There have been 51 small businesses financed, 215 small businesses have received technical assistance, and 400 plus small businesses have participated so far. We also have a mentor protege program. This program is where a lot of our prime contractors, like your Walshes, your Clarks, Walsh, Clark, FH Passion, they're willing to support our small businesses by mentoring them while they work on CTA projects. Right now, we're in the process of currently revamping our mentor protege program. But as of now, we're really big about creating spaces for our small businesses to network with our primes so that they can build those relationships. We don't normally say, hey, for example, I'm going to pick on Latasha because she came with me today. Like Chanel, I can't tell her go to Walsh, you pair with them. We don't do that for various reasons, but we're really big on creating those spaces so that you can build those relationships. And once you've built the relationship, you come to us and we give you the proper documentation so that we can be sure that there's a win-win on both sides and each side is benefiting. Next, we have our small business educational series program. This is a 9-week cohort taught by industry leaders. We actually wrapped up our construction one, I want to say April, with our graduation. So many of the topics discussed during that 9-week cohort include budgeting, project management, and estimating, just to name a few. So once individuals go through this 9-week cohort, the goal is that they will have a solid foundation of what it's like to do business with the CTA. That goes from looking at our buy-in plan and bonfire to identify the right opportunity for you. And then once you've identified the opportunity, you're able to properly submit those bid documents and hopefully win the contract. And once you win the contract, to be able to successfully sustain yourself throughout the life of the contract. Can you go back to the previous slide one more time? Thank you. Okay, we also offer technical assistance. As it concerns CTA contracting strategies, we also encourage our primes to unbundle contracts so that our smaller firms are able to bid on those smaller opportunities. Next, when it comes to contract research, I highly encourage individuals to FOIA contract opportunities. If you're not sure what FOIA means, that stands for Freedom of Information Act. When you FOIA a contract, a couple of things happen. You notice, you get notified about the accepted bid for that particular contract and who the bidders were. And that way, the next time that contract is released or it goes out, you're better equipped to maybe rebid that opportunity, and hopefully you're able to be awarded that opportunity. But it's a great opportunity for you to see what expectations are so you can better prepare. Next, marketing to the primes. We host various outreach events throughout the year. Our next quarterly event is going to be held on May the 27th at Kennedy King College. The layout of these events include, they'll usually start from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The first hour, you'll hear from different user groups throughout the CTA about different opportunities that will be coming up, so you're able to prepare. And it's followed by a Q&A session. I highly encourage individuals to attend, because you get the opportunity to actually get in front of people who are making, some of the decisions. And then that second hour is followed by, it's just strictly networking. So usually at our events, we average about 20 different vendors, which is a mix of our primes, as well as some of our BSOs who we work with to help our individuals to secure contracts. Some of you may be familiar with BCO, FWC, just to name a few. But as I previously mentioned, we're really big on creating those spaces to support our small businesses. Okay, so I'm almost finished. My last few slides, it'll cover a few different contract solicitations that you may see that the CTA may be bidding for. So the first one is our request for proposals, known as RFPs. RFPs require vendors to provide consulting services in addition to the actual work outlined in the contract. The vendor offering the lowest price does not always win the contract. When it comes to RFPs, it's about, previous slide, please. Thank you. Thank you. Proposals are evaluated based on a combination of factors, including price, the technology used to do the work, and quality of the product or service provided. For invitations to bid, known as IFBs, these are released when there aren't substantive differences between vendors, and there are many providers who can meet the needs of contracts. The award usually goes to the lowest bidder that meets the minimum qualification requirements for the contract. Okay, next slide. Next, we have requests for quotes, known as RFQs. These only select suppliers and contractors. Are solicited to submit pricing quotes and bids for the chance to fulfill certain tasks on projects. Unsolicited bids are not accepted here. And next, we have letters of interest and qualifications, known as LIQs. A request for letters of interest and qualifications is an invitation requesting firms to submit proposals for architectural or engineering services, as well as for certain construction management project design or other permissible services. LIQs are qualifications based, and negotiations on price come later. The bulk of the Chicago Transit Authority's opportunities are construction and engineering, but we do have professional service opportunities as well. And that's anything that's not construction and engineering. It could be janitorial, IT work, catering. I remember we had a catering contract go out at least 3 or 4 different times because we couldn't find caterers. So we have a little bit of everything for everyone. Next slide. So the big question that I always get is, what's the first step to doing business with the Chicago Transit Authority? And the first step is to always register as a CTA vendor. That's basically you just creating your business profile with us. So one of the steps that when you start creating your profile with us, you have to be sure, and I can't stress this enough, that you select the correct NAICS codes. Because when our purchasing department releases solicitations, they go directly based off NAICS codes. So, and if you already register as a vendor with us, I highly encourage that you go back and take a look to see how you can expand your NAICS codes and see if there's been any type of areas for you to expand. A couple other things that happens once you register with us as a CTA vendor. One, you'll automatically be alerted to solicitations that match your profile, but then you'll also get all the alerts to our different workshops and in-person networking events. As I previously mentioned, I also can't stress enough to apply for your DBE and SBE. In order for us to make the case for setting aside those small business contracts, we have to have a certified pool of small businesses to bid on. If we don't have enough businesses registered as SBEs in a certain category, we can't make the case. So I highly encourage that you submit for your DBE and SBE if it fits, but if you have to choose one over the other, or you prefer to, you're asking which one should I start with first, I would say the SBE. Next, also get familiar with our procurement tools. That includes Bonfire as well as our procurement portal, Bonfire, and our procurement tool, Buy-in Plan. So Buy-in Plan, I don't think we brought any with us today, but the buy-in plan is it's a PDF document that's on CTA's website, and it's an 18-month look ahead of future opportunities that are coming up. So that gives you the opportunity to take a look ahead and see what's coming up so you can prepare. Next, our procurement tool, Bonfire, that's updated on a weekly basis with different contract solicitations. Okay, with different contract solicitations. So I highly encourage that you just create a user ID and password and kind of just click around and get familiar, because in the event that you do find an opportunity that you're interested in, everything is done in Bonfire. That's where you get invites to pre-bid meetings. You'll also be able to communicate directly with the procurement administrator who oversees the contract. Everything happens in Bonfire. And then last but not least, I can't stress enough how important it is to continue to attend networking events, whether it's Chicago Transit Authority or events like this. It's all about building relationships, and people like to do business with people they know and trust. And if you scan that QR code, it also give you a list of all of our contacts in our department. So you feel free to reach out to any of us. I'm from diversity programs, but under diversity programs, you have 4 subunits, and that's small business development and outreach. You have workforce, compliance, and certification. And I believe the next slide was questions. So let me know if you have any questions.
Do we have any questions? Thank you.
Yeah, so I noticed that basically getting into the ecosystem and relationships are kind of like the most important step towards doing this. But I'm a small business owner, MPO actually. And I noticed that majority of the opportunities at the beginning were for profit. Once in the ecosystem, even as an MPO, what is the best way to kind of get, in front of the primes before the RFPs?
I would say that would be attending our quarterly outreach events, our meet the contractor events. Those are mainly, yeah, that's really the best way to go. And a lot of times, if you come and grab one of us and you're not comfortable, or yeah, we're happy to do introductions. We also do one-on-one consultations with individuals who are looking to do business with us, so we can kind of gauge where you are to see what opportunities you are interested in. Some firms are more responsive than others, so we can't guarantee anything, but the idea is that we will make a case for you and try to develop that connection for you to get in front of them. Yes, it will be May the 27th at Kennedy King College from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yes, and Latasha has flyers up here that covers a lot of the information that I went through in the slide. Will you also be sharing these slides? Okay, perfect.
I have a question online.
Okay. Okay. Is there any way you guys could like give a list of locations to get registered for SBEs and for the DBEs? Because my day job, I'm a window washer at O'Hare Airport. I've been with the city for 19 years. I was in a program to be a vendor over there. Trump came and shut all that down. So it's real important what's your name again?
Chanel.
What Chanel says, register as a SBE and
Yes.
it's very important that everybody register to keep it flowing. Trump shut it down.
Yeah, tried to.
Do we have any more questions in person? I see that we have one hand raised online. Miss Dale Kane.
Yes, thank you. My question, I have two. Well, one request, if you can put the link in the chat, where to just find general information.
You can unmute
And,
yourself so we can hear you.
oh, I'm muted? I am, according to what I have here, I'm unmuted. Unless,
Well, if you type the question, Miss Dale, I'll get back to you. I'll read it aloud. Do we have any more questions in person?
I'm sorry about that.
Well, thank you, Miss Chanel and
Thank
Miss
you.
Natasha.
For now, but Neighborhood Opportunity Program Fund. I work here, I promise. All right, we can go on to the next slide. All right, so what is the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund? The NOF was launched in 2016. I always like to ask with these in-person events, has anyone applied to the NOF before? Okay, all right. So the program looks a little bit different. It was on a bit of a hiatus for a couple years, but we've been back for 5 rounds now. so about a year. And the program has retained its mission the whole time, even through the hiatus. It was first founded and launched in 2016 with the goal to build vibrant commercial corridors along the south, southwest, and west sides of Chicago. It is a reimbursement-based grant program that supports permanent builds and renovations of commercial spaces. And again, we'll get into the exact eligibility requirements of that, but it is for construction and renovation of commercial spaces. Okay, and we have a couple example programs for you all, or a couple example projects for everyone too. This is RH Sneed's Hardware at 1650 West 79th, so not too far from here. They got a $39,000 NOF grant to redo their facade. This was before my time. I think this was one of the earliest rounds of the NOF, but this photo is fairly recent, so it is holding up really well. Then we have Jamaican Jerk Villa. This is just about 2 blocks away. I'm sure many of you are familiar. But they received a $250,000 NOF grant to rebuild this entire thing. I wish I had more room for photos so you could see the interior too if you haven't been by, but totally redid this vacant property here. And then we also have Rise Training Academy. That's 8300 South Halsted. They just opened up, I think a couple months ago. Time has been moving very fast, you know, very weirdly. But I think it was late 2025 that they just had their grand opening. But they got a $250,000 NOF grant, transformed this building here. All right, as for who is involved with the NOF program, it is sourced by the City of Chicago's Department of Planning and Development, or DPD. They work with NOF finalists and grantees to navigate the City of Chicago departments and requirements. The other side, the other player in that is Summer Corps. That's who I'm with. And I like to describe it as we basically handle the day-to-day operations of the NOF. The City of Chicago contracts us to manage the minute operations of the program. So if you are interested in applying, you'll probably be working with me or my manager, Ruben Waddy. If any of you know him, he can make it tonight. But we are the 2 main people who will be guiding you through the process. So the main takeaways as we go into the specifics of the program, these are the 3 things that I really want to stress. The first is that NOF projects must entail permanent construction or renovation of commercial spaces along specific commercial corridors on the south, southwest, and west sides. Location eligibility is the biggest barrier a lot of the times with the applications we've seen the last few rounds. Even if your property is just a couple blocks off one of our corridors, it is unfortunately ineligible at this time, and so that will just kind of bar the project off the bat. If you are interested in city grant programs but aren't along one of these corridors, we're always happy to refer you to other grants that might be more or relevant for your projects. But yes, I have a photo of our map a little bit later, but they are very specific streets within the south, southwest, and west sides. The next takeaway, the NOF grant covers up to 75% of eligible project costs, while the grantee would be responsible for the remaining 25% as well as any ineligible costs. So we have one joke with the NOF, and it's if you turn the property or the building upside down and you shake it, anything that falls out is not eligible for the NOF. So thank you. But yeah, so you can imagine it basically if it cannot come out of the building, then the NOF can cover it. But things like furniture and smaller things, that would be ineligible for the grant, but the NOF will cover up to 75% of that core eligible project cost. And then the third main takeaway here, the grant funds can only be accessed through reimbursement or an escrow agreement for eligible work initiated after the receipt of the NOF conditional award letter. That's a lot to say. The grant cannot be provided up front. It can only be given out for completed work. So we don't disperse the funds upfront at all. And the work has to be done after you have been admitted into the program and received your conditional award letters, the official contracts. So all the work items have to be outlined and approved by the city on this contract before the grant can be dispersed. All right, here is the map I was talking about. You can see the red are just general eligible, and then those bluish purple ones, those are priority corridors. If your property is along any of those, they're equally eligible. One is not more eligible than the other. The priority corridors may just give your application a little bit of a boost. But if you go to chicago.gov/NOF, there will be a tab at the top that says eligibility map. You can click that. You can actually input your property your property address, and it will tell you whether it's eligible, priority, or ineligible. And then if it looks a little bit off, or you're not sure where to find the map, you can just go ahead and reach out, and we're more than happy to check that for you. Sometimes, especially corner buildings, if you put in one of the addresses, like on the corner of a street that's not eligible, it might freak the system out a little bit. So if there's anything that looks off, just let us know. Okay, as for applicants that are eligible, that's going to be commercial properties, so offices, retail spaces, the exteriors of residential mixed-use buildings. We also can accept cultural institutions like museums, theaters, and performance venues. We can accept nonprofit organizations as long as they have some kind of on-site commercial component or revenue generating foot traffic drawing component. And then artisanal manufacturing, production, and services that have that on-site commercial component. So for that, we took on a screen printing company a couple years ago. So they screen print their t-shirts and art onto other fabric items, and then they also sell them on site. So you can see the printing press, and then they're also selling their products. As for ineligible types, that's going to be residential properties, which does include home-based businesses and live workspaces. But again, the exterior of mixed-use buildings, that entire exterior will be eligible. We also can't take as eligible social service organizations, including workforce development and daycare centers, as well as places of worship that don't have any kind of commercial or commercial components. So that'll be like an event space. That would be eligible, depending on other aspects of the application, but straightforward, just construction for places of worship, not eligible at this time. And also ineligible would be industrial or heavy manufacturing, including food and beverage processing, but the city does have other resources specifically for those kinds of businesses. So if that's what you're interested in, you can come see me after, or grab my business card and I can connect you. All right, eligible expenses, more specifically than just shaking the building upside down. Those eligible expenses are going to be things like roofing and facade improvements, demolition, environmental remediation, security measures, mechanical and HVAC, plumbing, electrical. Ineligible expenses are going to be minor repairs that are not part of a larger project. So the big example there would be painting. If you're applying for an $800 painting project alone, that's probably not going to be eligible. But if it's $800 of painting within a larger construction project, then that can be covered. Also ineligible is going to be construction or rehab of residential units or the interior of those mixed-use properties. Also ineligible are going to be repairs or improvements to bring the building into compliance with city building code if they're not part of the larger construction project. If they are part of the larger construction project, they typically are eligible. Again, it kind of depends on the details of the project scope. And then also ineligible are going to be operating expenses of any kind, such as payroll or inventory. Here is an overview of how the grant shakes out. So you have 100% that total eligible project cost, so that's going to be all the permanent things. That's going to be on your construction bid, your general contractor bid. The NOF can cover 75% of that eligible project cost. So if the contractor quotes you $100,000, you will likely get an NOF grant of $75,000. And then you, as the grantee, would be responsible for $25,000, as well as any of the ineligible costs. And then you'll see that little box on the end there. That's our technical assistance fund. What that means is it's an extra pot of money that is totally optional for you to use. But we have a set of architects and project managers who went through an RFP or a request for proposals process. So they are pre-vetted, pre-approved to partner with the NOF. So if you work with one of those architects or project managers, you could use this additional funding to pay for those services. I think we do get into that a little bit more, but I'm happy to answer any questions about that. I know hearing about Five Crowns experience with the construction, I was cringing for you on your behalf back there, because yeah, we have noticed that working with project managers especially has aided that process quite a bit since we've launched this new technical assistance fund. Yes.
1 second, Ms. Norma.
That's 25% of the total. The TAF is 25% of the 20% of the total project that you can use for architects and project managers potentially.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. It's going to be 20% of your NOF grant. So if you get a $100,000 NOF grant, this right here is $100,000. The TAF would be $20,000. So your total grant from the city would be $120,000, but $20,000 of that would only be able to be used for those architect and project management services.
And would we have to have proof of the $25,000 that is our part for this $100,000 ahead of time while we're applying?
Yes, I think that might actually be the next slide. Yeah, look at that. We planned this in advance, actually. The NOF grant can be paid out of in two ways. So to have that 25% upfront on the application, I'll get into that a little bit, how to document on the application, but as for the grant itself, we offer a straightforward reimbursement route, which is where you, as the grantee, the business owner, pay for the project upfront. You pay your GC. It can be in phases, so it doesn't have to be the whole thing all at once, and then you get reimbursed at the end. You can pay your GC. The NOF will pay you back, and you do that until the project is completed. Or the NOF is pretty unique in that we also have a construction escrow option. I would say probably 60 to 70% of our grantees utilize this option, where you don't have to have the full project financed up front. You can just have around your 25%, hopefully more for contingencies, and when you open the wall and there's like mold and the project cost explodes. But having a smaller portion of the project, around 25%, you put that into an escrow account. The city puts the NOF grant portion into the escrow account. The GC does the work, gives us paperwork that all the work is done, and then the GC is paid through the escrow account directly. So you, as the grantee, would not pay the GC at all. The GC would only get paid through the escrow account. And I think we can also set up the escrow account in multiple phases, so you wouldn't have to put your full 25% in at once. But it pretty much depends on your needs, and we can work with whatever works best financially for your project. General contractor. We love acronyms, right? As for how to apply to the NOF application is entirely online. If you haven't applied in the past, we used to take paper applications. We're no longer able to do that. We can only take applications through submittable.com. There's a link to the application at chicago.gov/NOF. It should be right up at the top as well. What to know in advance, you will have to create a free account on Submittable to view the questions, to actually see the questions and everything. It will give you an eligibility pre-screener where you'll have to select some, answer some questions, check the eligibility on that map of your project, but then it'll bring you into the application. If you would like to look at the questions in advance before making an account, we do have what we call an application toolkit available at summercore.com/NOF, which is right up here. Basically, it's like a PowerPoint presentation that just goes through all the different parts of the NOF application, shows you what to expect, and gives some tips on best practices. Applications can be saved as drafts on Submittable and continued later. So if you aren't able to complete the whole thing in one go, you can come back to it at any time, upload documents later, switch things out if you get some kind of new updated financial document or something like that. You can change things out before you submit. And last thing to know, you must upload all required documentations, and applications without required portions are going to be ineligible for that round. So I think we may have this on a later slide, but the main required portions is going to be proof of site control in the form of a deed or a long-term lease, a construction bid from a general contractor, so we have an accurate understanding of your project scope and what your grant needs would be, and the proof of financing, which was just mentioned, basically just showing how much financing you have available for the project at the time, or what your financing plan will be when the project gets going, that kind of thing. So the proof of financing, I'm happy to answer questions because there's a bunch of different options, but typically we'll say bank statements or loan documents, closing documents, that kind of thing. But happy to answer questions if there's anything in particular.
1 second.
If you choose the construction escrow method, are you requesting proof of financing just for your 25%?
Yes. There's not a hard requirement of don't apply if you don't have exactly 25%. It's just a matter of having an idea of how we can best get the projects to completion and everything. So if it's not exactly 25%, if it's a bit over, that will make the application stronger. But yeah, we're just trying to get an idea of what's needed. I think the next slide might actually, well, this is just about the application period. I think the Q&A slide will be in just 1 second.
I'm sorry, Kill.
No, that's okay. No,
we're gonna let her finish, and then I know everyone got questions.
I think I can do the last slide to remember. No, could we actually go back a couple? Thank you. Yeah, I think that's the application period. I think was the one right before this. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. So applications are accepted on a rolling basis and evaluated quarterly, which means the application is open year-round. The deadlines you'll see, that is just when we will begin to evaluate applications submitted between the deadline and the previous one. So if you miss a deadline, you can submit your application the very next day, and it will still be evaluated, just not until the next period ends. So like about 3 months after the fact. And that next deadline is going to be in about a month, May 15th at midnight or 11:59 p.m. And grant finalists for that intake period will be announced in the summer of 2026. So if you have submitted from mid-February to May, those are the applications we're going to start evaluating in May. Okay, and then I think we're good for the next slide. My formatting got off here. I don't know how, but this is just kind of giving an overview of how applications are evaluated and grantees are selected. The two main tenets are project readiness, which is basically demonstrating site control and a financially feasible project budget. There's more information on that in our NOF program manual, which is available at chicago.gov/NOF as well. The other tenet is project realization, which basically means you demonstrate your vision for the project. So you've gone through kind of a bidding process. You've talked to some general contractors to see what this would entail. You provide renderings, if possible, of what your space will look like. And one of the biggest things we evaluate all is community impacts. So we very much want to see how you're involved in the community, what you want to do for the community with your business, with your venture, and just how involved it is in the wider network. And then before we get to the Q&A, here are some resources. First are those application toolkits I mentioned. There's the one that just goes over submittable.com, but we also have separate ones for a few key parts of the application. So that's a walkthrough of how to create an anticipated sources and uses table, which will show us a good example of how that's helpful if you don't have all the financing up front on your application, but you have a plan of how you will finance it later on. The sources and uses table helps us to see where the sources of the sources of funds will be coming from or where they are on the application. We also have a toolkit going through how to provide proof of site control, so that deed or lease, and how to make sure they're fully eligible and executed on your application. We also have a toolkit on construction bids and tips on obtaining contractor proposals. That one is pretty in-depth, and even if you aren't eligible for NOF, but you're still looking to do a construction project, I worked so hard on it. Please go see it. And then the last one we have up there is what's needed to document your sources of funds. So that also goes over what kind of documents we're looking for proof of financing. All right. And then here are a couple other resources. They are all city grants. First, we have the Workforce Solutions Program. This is a pretty new grant program. It is for job training and upskilling for current employees and on-the-job training for new hires. There's also CDG, small, medium, and large, so that's the community development grant. The small grant is up to $250,000, similar to the NOF. The medium will be $300,000 to $5 million, and then large is over $5 million. And then last, we have the Small Business Improvement Fund, or SPIF, and this is a grant program similar to NOF as well, reimbursement-based, but they are also able to take on those heavy industrial kinds of projects, and they're funded by tax increment funding or financing, or TIF districts. And I think that gives us up to the Q&A.
Good evening. My name is Anthony. I was thinking about, you said y'all provide the contractor and the architect. Y'all help with that?
With the contractor, we can kind of connect you with partners who have that ability. But as for us, we only have approved Thank you. Architects and construction projects managers. That's what those two approved are.
Questions?
Thank you. Acquisition costs, is it a limit to it for the NOF? Yeah, and how is the application? Do I need to do it differently if it's a higher acquisition cost?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. The NOF can reimburse for acquisition of the property to a degree. It'll be counted as a line item on the. It gets very in the weeds, so I'm happy to talk with you later about it. But the bulk of the grant has to be used for the construction. If it is a high acquisition cost, the grant would not be able to go mostly towards that. It would have to be mostly for the construction. Does that make sense?
But a portion of it can go to the acquisition.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry to piggyback on that. Will an acceptable form of financing be if they're seller financing for the acquisition portion?
Yes. Yeah, that is. It depends on the overall application, but yeah, that is something that we can look at.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you guys accept LOIs?
Yeah, letters of intent.
Correct.
Yes, we can. The application would definitely be a bit stronger if it were like closing documents, but with letters of intent, especially because the timing can be so finicky. Yes, letters of intent are eligible.
Thank you, because I tried twice. That's why I asked.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna save you for last, Miss Norma. Well, next. I'm sorry, next.
Hi, I have been looking into the NOF. I think my eligible period is in October. Is some when my when it'll be open for the application period for me?
That might be TIF, the TIF district, because the NOF is they're very similar, so it gets kind of mixed up sometimes. But the NOF is open year round, and SPIF is the one that goes by those monthly like TIF district closings.
Okay, all right. I need to talk to you.
Oh, I'm saying it's not my turn.
So I think this question is kind of related to what my sister B&B said earlier. Summer Corps does give out loans as well, correct?
Yes, that is in addition to managing SPIF and NOF, we are an SBA 504 lender.
So allegedly or theoretically, if we get an NOF grant, can a loan from SBA Summer Corps assist with that?
Yes. Like general answer. Watch that be totally wrong and my boss calls me later like, why did you say that?
So with the TIF, you still need 25% down?
With the TIF, with the SPIF program doesn't have the escrow option. So with that one, you would have to finance. They do allow it to be in phases, but you would have to finance upfront and then get reimbursed. They don't have that escrow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So just a quick tip. It's not even a question for you, it's for everybody. So there are a lot of AI programs out there, and I see a lot of note takers, a lot of picture takers. What I do when I sit here at these meetings, I take pictures of all the slides, I enter them into my AI, and the AI kind of breaks down basically what I need to know based off of every slide. Also, you can record the voice. The AI can record the voice and take up all the context that the speaker is saying. It breaks down to you in your terminology what you need to know, what you need to ask, and what's important for your specific industry.
Does the Summer Corps loan, does that incorporate the dreaded FICO score that everybody, that gets in the way of your home buying? business?
I gotta be honest, I'm just the grants guy. No, but
You have to have a certain credit score in order to qualify for a summer.
For the
The
loan,
SBA.
I'm not entirely sure, but if I can give you my email or phone, and then I can connect you with one of my colleagues who does the.
Okay, because I pray you don't. I pray.
Question. You may have answered this already, but I just want to make sure I confirm. Do you have to own the property, or you said you would take long-term lease? And if it is long-term lease, what is the minimum or maximum on the lease?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, we do take tenants. The lease we'd be looking for would be a minimum of 5 years.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, I just wanted to know, make sure I'm understanding. Each of those segments of the programs you have to have the money up front. Some in installment and then some 25%. Is that how that is? And an installment, the 25% would be broken into installment for that category one. You know what I'm saying?
With the 25%, we would have to make sure the escrow account is fully funded before the GC can get paid out. So the full 25% would have to be in the escrow account before the payments can start going out. Does that?
Would that also apply for the installment part, for the installment one too? Okay, so it's 25%, but you are breaking for that particular category fund, you're breaking the 25% into installment. One, you gotta have all the 25%, and one is installment, but it still has the installments to have to equal to 25%. That's what I'm trying to understand. I'm not getting.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Hold on.
Yeah. We wouldn't recommend that, mostly because the city can't deposit their contribution into the escrow account until the grantee has fully put in. The city is last in, basically. So the grantee would have to put their full 25% contribution in before the city could, and then before the contractor could get paid. So it can be multiple deposits, but the title company does have fees associated with deposits, and the city can only cover 3, I believe.
Just wanted to get an understanding about the SBA. If we get the SBA loan to help us fund it, would it can be considered as the 25% or whatever they give us?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to
Gotcha. Yeah.
break that down. Trying to.
I can also, if you want, I can connect you with one of my colleagues who does the SBA, so they definitely know more detail now about how that stuff works.
Any more questions? So I know here at GAGDC, we also help with assisting business owners to get NOF. Some of you may know you can add us in submittable, and we're able to look at it in the system with you. But my question to you, Kel, what is the leading cause of business owners not receiving NOF? Is it funding? Is it them not having the money, or the documentation, the credit score? Like the gentleman asked, what are the leading issues?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would like to say thank you for helping with the applications. We see the collaborators in there. It's very much appreciated. But yeah, I would say the biggest thing would be not like missing documents. We have a bunch of optional documents or optional materials, so like photos or a business plan. Well, a business plan is required if you're a startup, but for an existing business, it's optional. But not providing a lot of those materials that allow us to see who you are and who your business is, that will definitely kind of weaken the application. So it's not all about the financing. It's not all of it. A lot of it does have to do with just having a full picture of what the goal is.
So documentation and storytelling.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so one other question. Because I was filling it out and it stated that you needed your last year's tax return.
Mhm.
I haven't done mine yet, my business.
Gotcha.
So is that mandatory or?
Yeah, we're in that kind of weird time right now, so 2024 is fine.
Oh, okay.
Or just the most recent, yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
That reminds me, where's Priscilla? That reminds me of another question. You gonna ask her, Priscilla, about the tax returns?
So yeah, so about that tax return. So working with Mr. Pedro and then a few others, um, do they need to provide the last 3 years of their tax returns, or I guess of the most recent tax returns, or is that just relegated to if a nonprofit was trying to use the grant and having like that commercial addition to it and whatnot? Just wanted to have that clarity because that's always a question that comes up. There's another part with the taxes as well that I can't remember off the top of my head.
Mhm.
It's a lot of questions regarding that.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to hear more about what questions there have been, but just the most recent tax return is totally fine. It just has to be the one document there.
Is it upfront, or do you ask for it at some later point? Is it with
Oh, yeah. On the application, we ask for it, but if you are a grantee and then you finish your project, there's a 3-year monitoring period after where it's optional to give your text. So that might be, yeah, that might be. But that's only for the alumni survey kind of thing after the fact.
So with the nonprofits, if it's zero income, they don't have any income that's been coming in yet. Would that disqualify them?
No, not at all.
Thank you.
No, not at all. If you have the registration with the, any kind of just verification, basically, that this is an existing business through those tax documents.
I think you kind of answered my question with that. Just wondering, with the tax return, what are you looking at? Are you looking if the business is profitable, or are you just looking to make sure that there like a max on your income, or what are you looking at when you're looking at the tax returns?
Yeah, again, the biggest thing there is just verifying that the business is existing. We may, doing the full evaluation, we may look at revenue to get a better understanding. But with those kinds of things, you are able to redact any kind of sensitive information.
Is there a revenue cap?
No. Mm-mm. For SPIF, the Small Business Improvement Fund, I think there is, but we don't.
Not for NOA.
Not for NOA. They go by TIF districts. So there's a whole bunch of ones that open and close all at different times. I know we have a calendar of them at Summer. It's summercore.com/spiff, and they have it all on our website there.
And then also, if you look on line, you could type in Spiff Locator, and you could type in your business address on the city website, and it'll show you which district you fall in and when is the deadline to apply. So I do know that the 79th Street, the 79th and Vincennes Spiff is the deadline is April the 30th, and we have, yeah, so it's open now. The deadline is April the 30th. April the 30th, and we have 0 people that has applied. So Vincennes is from 72nd and Vincennes to 86 in Vincennes, but it's kind of like a a warrant map. It's kind of like Toxie Turby, so I could send that to you and get you deadlines. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. But so you may not be in that one, but you are in one. But I believe that you are in that one. Yeah. So I'll check. Any more questions? I seen a hand somewhere go up. No more questions. And then, so also I had a conversation with Kel, and we discussed on having a workshop. So I know part of the reason why we kind of opened up this door to other communities because by word of mouth, a lot of people were saying like they could come here and get help with the SPIF, the TIF, and also the NOF. So now we wanted to make that connection and get all of the questions answered that we sometimes don't know the answer to. So I'm gonna get with Kel and we're gonna decide a date to where you all could come back and it will be a workshop specifically to access these funds. So if you know anyone, please spread the word. I'll be sending out emails. We got another question?
How you doing? So should we apply for all of like the SBAs, the SPLIF, and the NOF at the same time? You know, should we?
No, that's a great question. I always say yes. If you do get it, I know for the city grants, not so much with the federal or state stuff, but with the DPD grants, if you get accepted into two programs at the same time, you will have to choose one. So you can't get two grants at the same time. But I always say, yeah, apply, cast a wide net. And like NOF, if you haven't heard back yet, you can always apply for that next round. Maybe it's just taken some time to review and announce. So you can submit as many times as you want. Isn't that the question? It's been a bit extended this time because of the holidays, like with the end of the year. But typically it's around 3 months is what we try to get it to.
Do we have any more questions? 1 second, 1 second.
Do you have to have 25% for each one, or just that covers all? I'm on this 25%.
I can't speak to the other grant. They all have different requirements, so I can't speak to the requirements of the other programs too much. But yeah, I can connect you with the people who would know.
Yeah. So there isn't any questions online. So like I said, we're gonna work on doing a workshop. So I'll get back to all of you so that your questions could get answered, so that we can make sure we are accessing these funds. The money is So SPIF is closing in about 15, less than 15 days for the 79th in Vincennes. So like I said, if you want to give me your business address and I can look it up for you and get back to you, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, Kel. So before we close, I wanted to, if we could call Mr. Nelson and Mr. Cordero Jackson to the front, please.
All right, we are wrapping up. We went long, but if you recall, we're very intentional during the introductions so that everyone can hear who's in the room. Also, our dynamic leadership team, Norma Sanders, raise your hand, Norma. Mr. Anderson, you all know about a number of names, and the strong team behind them. So we're here. If you guys have been around, we worked really hard to get 7908 South Halsted reopened, not as the old deplorable Save-A-Lot of yesteryear, but a reimagined Save-A-Lot. And so this was the CEO, Joe Canfield, and he's presented at these a number of times. And I want to talk about what reimagine means. Let me hear from Cordero if you have a couple of words about Joe and the loss of Joe Canfield recently.
Yeah, so he passed away recently. I've been in the alderman's office now for about 3 years, and one of the things that project as soon as I came in we was working on was the Save-A-Lots. The Save-A-Lot here, the Save-A-Lot down on 63rd Street, and everything going on with it. We're reimagining, reactivating the sites and different things like that. One thing I can definitely say when it comes to a lot of developers, business owners, and everything like that, not everybody comes out and talks to the community. Not everybody takes the input of the community. I can definitely say this man actually came out, had multiple meetings. He let people yell at them, tell them whatever they want, take the opinions, everything from the community to try to deliver exactly what the community wanted when it came to having Save-A-Lots around here. All right, so the biggest thing is this caught us kind of by surprise. We did not expect this. We literally just, what was it, last month, we were just at Save-A-Lot. Naomi Talbert, she released her cauliflower pizza, and we were there talking about that and discussing those different things. So for this to happen right after that, young man, I believe just in his 50s still, so it's definitely unexpected. But we just wanted to recognize him tonight, speak on the great successes he had, but also his involvement, his investment within the community and the different things that he did.
Can we get a moment of silence really quickly for Joe Canfield? Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, this was quite sudden. And as Cordero mentioned, this white man from Cleveland, Ohio, took a lot of abuse, was beaten up quite a bit, trying to do business in the city of Chicago, not just here in Halsted, but was made an offer they couldn't refuse and took on the former Whole Foods at 63rd and Halsted, and we really pushed, really hard, and I would definitely say that the Auburn Gresham community team, the neighborhood network here in Auburn Gresham, really modeled how having a community-led initiative and a grocer operating, even though it was a Save-A-Lot, could really be inclusive, collaborative, and we stood up this grocery store, and so thank you, Joe, and I'm not sure what's going to happen to the Save-A-Lot. Beyond that, it's owned by Yellow Banana. He was one of 4 owners, and so we'll keep everyone posted. Yeah, it was just last week. We just heard about it, and so quite sudden. And yeah, so anyway, we're going to wrap up. It's just young lady, and hey, many of the folks have been here a number of times. I was asked, hey, what's in this building? So I'm going to do this really quickly. So this is the Auburn Gresham Healthy Lifestyle Hub, the epicenter of health and prosperity. Those of us old enough to remember, it was an old, nasty public aid building. This is a 60,000 square foot building. It was closed due to asbestos, right? Everybody heard this story, right? It sat vacant for nearly 25 years. Thank you, Cordero. Sat vacant for nearly 25 years. We were able to do some creative financing, make some magic happen, and ultimately raise $21 million to adaptively reuse this beautiful terracotta clad building. And so in this building, 60,000 square feet, 5 floors, on the lower level, there is a digital media center that is the most beautiful I have ever seen. We're doing it's called the Echo Podcast. I promise when Mr. Anderson and Norma and the team do the networking meetings that we do regularly, maybe we'll establish some tours of the site. We're also doing a ribbon cutting in a couple of weeks for a brand new here in this building, a Peloton fitness center, all new Peloton equipment. Also, a duplex on the 2nd and 3rd floor. There is a primary and immediate care center run by UI Health. So it's it has oral health, some of the most beautiful dental exam rooms I've ever seen. They do behavioral health, and then there's primary and immediate care. On the 3rd floor, there's a UIC neighborhood center. You'll have to research that, but it's really awesome, and it's led by a sister that lives right around the corner here. There's also Thank you, thank you. Hey, my team here, I forgot. Heartland Human Care Service is here in the building. We also have CEDAW, the Center for Disabled and Elderly Law. In this building, we have Big Brothers Big Sisters in this building. Oh, Public Equity, led by Tony Woods, a CVI here in this building. Illinois Tollway is in this building. I mean, this building, it's breathing a lot. There were no windows on this east elevation nor west elevation. The big storefront windows were bricked in, and we blasted 48 windows in this building to light up this community, literally and figuratively. There's more to come. There's a restaurant space that we are looking to start bringing to life, also on the first floor. And if that's not enough, we are bringing more health access to high quality health care by acquiring that former Bank of America building right here and bringing in more health and wellness services, including mental health services and services for the disabled. And then there's more to come. So keep tied in with gagdc.org. These two individuals right here, and Kenny Doss and the lovely young lady who is an architect from IIT on our team, and ladies out there as well. So it's a dynamic economic development team. And then that beautiful lady in the orange pants is my wife, who I brought here today at 7:20 this morning. So if I don't get the hell out of here, she's gonna leave me. All right, thank you all. Oh, I did want to say one thing. I'm glad to see the residents from 82nd and Carpenter, because you have a big old school that needs to be, we need to be talking about it. We need to be engaging and talking about and envisioning what the old Calumet High School can be.
Yep. And then also the food today was provided by a local chef, Chef Monica from Tasteful Manners. So if you all want catering or anything done, please get with me about that as well. Please feel free to take as much food as you want on your way out the door. Our next roundtable meeting will be June the 18th. Thank you all for coming.